a caste system. But we will come to that. We have already studied it, we will recap it. So number one part is everybody is created with a very specific qualities, inherent qualities within them. Some people are brave. Some people are very good businessmen. Some people are, very good servant. They are faithful people. We see in the world different type of people are in a different way they behave because of their inherent qualities. Now, what qualities I am born with is my karma. If I am born as a warrior, for example Arjun, that is why God is telling him to fight the war. If you are born as a businessman, if you are knowing how to exactly make the money and how to do the trading and all, you should go into that karma. What are the karmas of all these four varnas? So there are four characteristics identified which is called as a varna. And we should work as per the varna. If we do not work as per the varna, if we try to go into other type of work, there will be two things happening as we saw last time. Number one part, we will not be able to perform well. A person who is a coward, a person who is not brave, he should not go into police or military. He will not be able to perform his duties. A person who doesn't know, a person who is benevolent, who doesn't know how to make money, if that person does a business, what will happen? It will always be a loss. So number one part is that identify your nature and that is your karma. That is number one part. Identify your varna. Varna word is also as per the, we say that somebody is a Shweta varna. That means he is a whitish complex of the skin. So varna is not caste system or up and down. Varna is characteristic, classification of people as per their inherent qualities. So we should work as per our quality prescribed and explained in the Vedas. So this is explained in Vedas very clearly what type of people are there and how they are designed for. And one should perform the prescribed duties with a yagya bhava. And we talked about yagya bhava in detail. What is a yagya bhava? How a yagya is performed. It is not merely putting the things in the fire and chanting the sloka. Yagya is our everyday actions. We talked about it. And in the yagya, we need the God as the center because otherwise there is no fulcrum. And we talked about Samudra Manthan and all those references then. If these type of duties are performed by the whole society, then the society, it produces the rain. Yagnat bhavati parjanya. Yagna se barish aati hai. That is written. So we take it as a literal meaning that, when you put some things in the fire, then there will be a rain coming. Parjanya yagya. Barish nahi ho rahi hai, yagya karo, barish aayegi. Yeah, it may come. There may be scientific reasons. But we are talking about the message behind it. What is yagya? When everybody works selflessly, as per their prescribed duties, there will be abundance of resources and fruits generated from those actions in the society. That is what a yagya and the people action is. Karma kya hai aur yagya kya hai? And doing that karma as per prescribed duty is dharma. Dharma is not sampradaya. Dharma is not a specific way of worship. Dharma means we are doing our prescribed duties as indicated in the Vedas with a yagya bhav. And the rain represents what? We talked about it. The rain represents motherhood and equality. And we talked in detail about equality. Equality doesn't mean equal amount. Equality means equal amount of satisfaction. Now, we took an example. घर में खाना खा रहे हैं, we are on the dining table. Mama has made 10 chapatis, 10 रोटी बनाई है. 5 लोग हैं, एक 4 साल का बच्चा है और एक 18 साल का लड़का है और एक 70-year-old मैन है. हम लोग बोलेंगे इक्वालिटी. छोटे 3 साल के बच्चे को भी you give 2 chapatis to a 3-year-old boy, you give 2 chapatis to a 18-year-old boy, and you give 2 chapatis to a 70-year-old man. Will it be equal? It will not be, because the necessity of the person, the 18-year-old, needs 5 chapatis, whereas a 3-year-old boy will not be able to eat 2 chapatis. So when a government policy, where it is applicable, we have to see application. It's not only Gita. Today, now, and we are going to take that example. So government policies or any other policy, when we say equal resources, equal distribution, that doesn't mean that. Equal means equal amount of satisfaction. A 3-year-old boy will eat only half a chapati and his stomach will be full, whereas a 18-year-old boy will eat 5 chapatis. So when somebody says anywhere, in the company, manager says, in the politics, leaders are telling, हमारे में सब equal है, we give equal to everyone, that's not correct. As per Gita, that is not correct. The definition of equal is not the resource amount, but it is the amount of necessity and the amount of resources to satisfy that necessity. That is the definition of equal. So rain is equal, means रेन जब बारिश आती है तो इक्वल आती है. रिच आदमी के घर के ऊपर भी उतनी ही बारिश गिरती है जितनी पुअर आदमी के ऊपर गिरती है, मगर जहां ज्यादा चाहिए वहां ज्यादा गिरती है. इन द फॉरेस्ट ऑफ अमेज़न देयर इज मोर रेन. व्हाई? बिकॉज देयर इज मोर रेन रिक्वायर्ड. सपोज द गॉड डिसाइड्स मैं सब जगह इक्वल पानी डालूंगा, व्हाट विल हैपन? अमेज़न फॉरेस्ट विल ड्राई अप and there will be flood in the deserts of Saudi Arabia. This definition of equal is very important to remember. Whenever we are going, wherever, in family, in jobs, anywhere, remember the definition of equal. Equal doesn't mean equal amount. This is the important part. So range is telling us equality and motherhood. हाँ, प्यार है. पापी को भी उतना ही पानी मिलता है जितना अच्छे आदमी को मिलता है. मदरहुड. एक बच्चा खराब है, एक बच्चा नहीं, थोड़ा शरारती है, एक बच्चा बहुत आज्ञाकित है. हाँ, we have got different kind of kids. Mother gives equal love to everyone. That is why rain defines what? Motherhood and equality. That is what we talked. And then the rain is equal distribution of resources as per the need in the society. So society becomes happy. And when that is done, people can work again their workout and then they can again do yajna and again the rain will come. So that is evam pravartatim chakram. That is where we were in the sloka. And I will chant that sloka again. And as these prescribed duties are explained in the Vedas by the God, when we are doing those duties, the God is represented in it. Sometimes see, in our home also, there is a little baby, and while looking at the baby, we say, this fellow is exactly like his father. बाप पे गया है. कैसे यह बाप पे गया कैसे पता चला? Because his behavior is exactly how his father was doing when he was a child. So the father is represented in the child because of the behavior. In the same way, when the God is giving a message in the Vedas and we follow it, the God himself is present in our karma. When we do our prescribed duties as per defined in Vedas, the God himself is present in our karma. God is not only in temple, God is existing in our karma. That is what is told. And if we do not do those karmas properly, people who do not do those actions as per the cycle and only work as guided by the senses are doing a sin. That is where we stopped last time. पाप करते हैं. पाप की definition क्या है? पाप क्या है? What is पाप? That is where we stopped. And we talked about it. So let me chant the sloka and we will try to understand पाप क्या है? What is पाप? What is the sin? That is what we will try to understand. So I will chant the 16th sloka of 3rd chapter. Evam pravartitam chakram nanu vartayati hayah agayurindriya ramo mogham partha sajivati. We'll try to understand what it means. In English we can say, O Parth. Parth means Arjun, the son of Prutha Kunti. So, O Parth, those who do not accept the responsibility in the cycle of yajna established by the Vedas are sinful. Nanu vartayatiha. Those who doesn't behave as per that are agayu indriya ramo. As per the senses only they work. Agayu. Mogham. They do a big sin. That is what is written. And they only live by their sin. Their living is nothing but papa. That is what is written here. So we'll try to understand पाप क्या है. What is पाप? In Hindi we can say, हे पार्थ, जो मनुष्य इस लोक में इस प्रकार परंपरा से प्रचलित सृष्टि के चक्र के अनुसार नहीं चलता और इंद्रियों के द्वारा भोगों में रमण करने वाला अघायु पापमय जीवन बिताने वाला मनुष्य संसार में व्यर्थ ही जीता है. His living is useless. So let us understand the definition of पाप here. So what is the general understanding of पाप? पाप क्या है? What is the understanding of पाप? Harming somebody physically, है ना? किसी को मारना नहीं. Do not harm somebody. किसी को मारो मत, किसी को physically atrocity मत करो. That is पाप, right? That is what we understand as पाप. Okay. So I am putting a question here, so that when the question comes, our mind starts circling. So we will go through some questions. So if harming somebody is a paap, then when a soldier is killing somebody on the border, or a judge is giving a death sentence to a person, or police is holding somebody and maybe doing some physical beating to extract the truth out of a bad person, is it a paap? They are doing the physical abuse to the person or killing rather. So definition of paap as a physical abuse is not complete. पाप वो नहीं है. We will say वो तो अपना ड्यूटी करता है. He is doing his duty. If the soldier goes on the border and says, aha, ahimsa paramo dharma, what will happen? Your country will be defeated within seconds. A soldier cannot say ahimsa paramo dharma. Kshama virasya bhushanam. I am a veer. I am a very, very brave person. So I will give kshama. Anybody who is coming, I will give kshama. I will give kshama. What will happen? Can a warrior be like that? No. He is not doing a scene when he is fighting in the war. When he is working as a police or as a judge or as a teacher who is trying to punish a mischievous kid, or a mother who is trying to punish a mischievous child. It's not paap. Rather, not doing that is paap. In second chapter already we saw, God told Arjun, if you are not going to fight, then it is going to create a paap. So, physical abuse is paap is not a complete definition. Okay, then maybe taking the things, stealing forcibly or surreptitiously, चुपके से या जबरदस्ती से किसी की चीज ले लेना, चोरी करना पाप है ना? ऐसा बोलते हैं ना, चोरी करना पाप. चोरी करना पाप. तो अगर if there is a little child and he has got a sharp thing in his hand, चाकू ले लिया हाथ में, suppose, and the mother is snatching that from the kid, तो जबरदस्ती से तो लिया उसने. She has taken it forcibly. Is it paap? If a kid is always busy looking at the mobile phone, tick, 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 he is always in the mobile phone and not doing the study. The father is snatching that mobile phone from him. Is it paap? The child doesn't need it. You are snatching it from him. So snatching only doesn't mean a complete definition of paap. Doing immoral things, गलत काम करना, दारू पीना पाप है. परदार सेवा, दूसरे की स्त्री के पास से सेवा लेना, रिलेशनशिप विद द अदर पर्सन्स वुमन इज ए पाप, ऐसे बोलते हैं, है ना? दैट इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ पाप इन मोरल सेंसेस. मोरालिटीज में वो आता है. बट द सोसाइटी चेंजेस, द लॉज ऑफ द सोसाइटी कीप्स चेंजिंग. नहीं, once upon a time selling and buying of slaves was legal, moral. In the 10th century or 12th century, buying a female slave was legal. There was nothing immoral at that time. So when the time changes, the morality, definition of morality changes. There is a nice song in it. हर युग में बदलते धर्मों को कैसे आदर्श बनाओगे, संसार से भागे फिरते हो, भगवान को क्या तुम पाओगे. There is a beautiful song. The person is challenging that. हर युग में बदलते धर्मों को कैसे आदर्श बनाओगे. Once upon a time, putting a full ghummat was a morality. Today, our kids and our sisters and mothers are wearing t-shirt and jeans. Is it immoral? No, we don't think so. So rules are changing. Morality, definition of morality changes. So doing immoral is also not a complete definition of sin. Yeah. Hunting animals and environment, that is another big part. पशु प्राणी पशु का जीव हिंसा एंड हर्टिंग ऑफ एनवायरमेंट, दैट इज पाप. ऐसे कहते हैं पशु प्राणी को नहीं मारना चाहिए. अहिंसा परमो धर्म. But if that is the case, then how will Eskimos able to live in Alaska? They have to eat seal, fish, meat. How will they survive? So are they doing paap? Because their whole time they are eating meat only. How will Eskimos live without meat? Even forget about Eskimos. When we are plowing the fields, there are so many insects and small creatures and all that. They die under the plow. Nahi kya? Have you seen? So many earthworms, everything, they are getting killed. So if killing of animals, killing of insects, killing of that is paap, then we are doing paap. You should not plow the fields. So it is also not a complete definition of paap. Animals living beneath the earth's surface will be died when the plow moves. So what is the definition of paap here? Mogham parthasa jivati. So let us take an example here. It's a very practical example and it is today's example, so we will take it. What is written here, paap? When a person is not doing the prescribed duty with a yagya bhav is paap. That is what is written. Now how to apply that in a practical life? We have got a city next to Toronto. We all know, Brampton, right? We have got a city there. And we all know that there is a lot of car thefts going on. We all know that. It is today's reality. Lot of car thefts are going on. Now chori karna paap hai. So a paap has happened. How did it happen? How so much theft has happened? Because people didn't do their prescribed duty. Which are the prescribed duties not done? 3 people didn't do the prescribed duty. Number 1, education. If there is a correct and effective education, people will not steal. 99% of अच्छे आदमी लोग will not go for stealing. So you are making a big chunk of people who are not stealing. That is first resolution. Education. And second is political system. Employment. If there is no employment, if there is a person has got no opportunity to earn bread and butter, what will happen? He will steal. चोरी तो करेगा. नौकरी नहीं है, खाना नहीं है, बच्चों को कैसे खिलाना, वो चोरी करेगा ही. क्यों नहीं करेगा? जरूर से करेगा. He will do that stealing. So it is a failure of political system to make a providence. To make a providence for the bread and butter of in the society. It is a failure of political system. Political system didn't give opportunity for employment to that person. And 0.1% लोग बदमाशी होते हैं, मुफ्त का खाने का रहता है. So for that purpose there is a police system. So it is failure of police to make sure that there is such a amount of punishment and also a big impact, fear in the heart of those 0.01% bad people. चोरी करेंगे, गाड़ी चोरी करेंगे तो you are having a big consequences. It's not happening. So what happened basically? Police didn't do their prescribed duty, government didn't do their prescribed duty, and the teachers didn't do their prescribed duty. That is why the paap has happened that car stealing is going on. That is today's analysis. In today's life, right over here. And I am giving even name of the city also. So this is why I am giving the example, because this is to understand how the paap, ऐसे ही नहीं होता है पाप. ऐसे ही wrong things doesn't happen in the society. It doesn't happen that way. When somebody didn't do their prescribed duty with the yagya bhav, then the paap happens. That is why the God has clearly defined the very bottom perfect definition. What is a sin and why it is happening. पाप कैसे होता है. And we took the example of Brampton. Now, it explains very clearly. If the people are educated correctly and people are given an opportunity to earn bread and butter by not stealing but by a regular way, and if there is a police for those 0.01% bad people, there are always people like that in the world, to punish and keep a fear in the heart of them, there will not be any stealing of cars. So somebody not doing their prescribed duty is papam. That is what the God told. हाँ, इंद्रियों के साथ में चलने वाला और अपनी ड्यूटी नहीं करने वाला वो पापी है. ये पाप की क्लियर कट डेफिनेशन. इफ समबडी आस्क पाप क्या है, हाँ दुनिया में पाप बहुत बढ़ गया, कलयुग आ गया. व्हाई कलयुग इज कम? बिकॉज पीपल डू नॉट डू देयर प्रिस्क्राइब्ड ड्यूटी. दैट इज व्हाई कलयुग इज देयर. Kalyug is not come and then things has happened bad. Things started happening bad and that is why we say Kalyug has come. It is not like a time phase कि अरे भाई यहाँ से डॉट से चालू हो गया तो everybody will start behaving in a bad way. No, that is not the Kalyug. Kalyug is when people don't do their prescribed duty. When people will start doing their prescribed duty, what will happen? The scene will go. पाप चला जाएगा. पाप चला जाएगा. Sometimes we say people work hard. People बहुत मेहनत करते हैं, but यज्ञ तरीके से नहीं करते. See, sometimes people will say, no, I am working very hard, I am paying tax, I am doing this, I am doing that, and still there is lot of sin, there is lot of problem in the society. Why? Because the work is not done as per the yajna. See, that is another very important part. Yajnata is very important. Let us take an example. There are 4 horses. And all 4 horses are pulling a cart. But still the cart is not even moving 1 inch. Why? Because all 4 horses are pulling the cart in 4 directions, opposite directions. When people work with their indriya, they work towards their own direction and not in the direction as per the yajna. गॉड को सेंटर में रख के नहीं काम करते हैं, खुद के लिए काम करते हैं. देयर इज ए नाइस स्टोरी फॉर दैट. It's a jovial story that it was a time for the rain in the village. People are anxiously waiting for the rain. Oh, rain should come and our field will have the water. So everybody is waiting for rain. And then there is a temple. So the farmer's wife goes to the temple and prays to the God. God, please send the rain earlier and in time so that my husband will be able to plow the fields and we will get the crops. She is praying to the God that the rain should come and good amount of rain should come. Now there is a pot maker. कुम्हार है. There is a pot maker. That pot maker, he has also a wife. The pot maker's wife goes to the same temple and prays to the God. Bhagwan, बारिश late भेजना. Send the rain very late and very little. Why? If there is lot of water, all the clay will become watery and my husband's business will be stopped for 4 months. So please do not send the rain or send very little rain. One person is praying, please send lot of and good rain. Other person is praying, please send very less rain. This is an example which shows that people work with their indriya for their own selfish nature, for their own reason. When the society works with their own reason, what will happen? Bhagwan kya karega? What will God do? Send the rain or don't send the rain? What to do? एंड बोथ आर प्रेइंग. हमने चढ़ावा चढ़ाया भगवान को, $50 का चढ़ावा लगाया, बारिश आनी चाहिए. दूसरी बोलती है $50 का चढ़ावा चलाया, बारिश नहीं आनी चाहिए. हनुमान जी को 2 कुप्पी तेल चढ़ाई. Isn't it? It's not funny, it is sad. Because here we can see that both the people are not thinking in a bigger cause. They are both thinking for themselves. And that is what is said. Indriya, mogam partha sajivati, agayu rindriya ramo. They are thinking about themselves and their senses. They don't work as a yajna. That is why there is a papam. Individual. So individually they are great, but collectively they are negative. All four horses are great. They have got the strength to pull the cart alone. But when all four horses are working in opposite direction, the cart doesn't move. That is showing the importance of the yagyata. Also, the scene does not bring the society, the resources to the society. जुआ खेलना पाप है. हाँ, gambling is sinful. Why gambling is sinful? We are enjoying. Nobody is having a problem. We are not hurting other people. But we are telling that gambling is not good. Yudhishthir, actually this is a big thing to discuss the whole Draupadi Vastraharan. Sometime maybe we will be able to take it. I don't know when. But this is the greatest example. Jua khelna paap hai. That is why, I always give a question. If Yudhishthir is Dharmaraj, why will he put his wife in a gamble? How is he a Dharmaraj? Anyway, so the gambling is sinful. Why gambling is sinful? Imagine, there are four people who come together, each bring $100 and they do the gambling. They spend 8 hours gambling, playing cards or whatever. Right? After 8 hours, how much money is increased? Somebody will lose, somebody will gain. How much money has increased? That $400 will become $410? No. That $400 will be useful to the other people for a given time? No. And they all work for 8 hours. 8 घंटा मेहनत किया, मगर $400 का $400 ही रह गया. When the work is done towards selfish way, there are no resources generated. इसलिए कहा, that is why it is told, when the work is done as a yajna, then only the rain will come. When people will work with the selfish, no rain will come. बारिश नहीं आएगी. Resources will not be generated. Even though they have worked hard for 8 hours. So that is sin. Sin क्या होता है? Sensual happiness has no limit. And so it does not bring the resources to the society. That is why it is sinful. जुआ खेलना क्यों पाप है? Somebody will say, especially in this part of the world, casino. Oh my God, hundreds of thousands of casinos. Gamble with responsibility. How is it? I'm laughing at it because the education is not there. The problem is education is not there. Anyway, so we'll go further. Then sensual happiness, another part is if people live with the sensual happiness and sensually only guided by the senses, but senses doesn't have the limit. And the senses preferences are also changing. A little baby will have the fun in teether. The baby is chewing the teether. He is having fun in teether. But the same mouth, the sense, the same tongue will change the preference. Now I like to eat chocolate. I grow more, now I like to eat pani puri, spices. I grow more, I like to eat chili. So the same sense keeps changing, number one. The same sense, the capacity to give happiness changes. Senses give different happiness. So if we are living by the senses, we will be like a, that mouse who is running in the cage, all around in the wheel. We will keep running but not having any outcome. That is why it is sinful. इंद्रियों के साथ में काम करना क्यों sinful है? Why it is sinful to follow only the senses? That is why it is sinful. Because we will be unhappy. See, the outcome of sin, कोई भी पाप का outcome, very golden sentence. Any sin has got two outcomes. One is agyan, another is a pain. Either it creates agyan, that is papa, or it creates a pain. Different type of things. It may be social pain, it may be physical pain, but it creates a pain. और अज्ञान दौड़ते ही रहता है आदमी, इधर से उधर, full time. I am working so hard, I am working, making money and all that. Yeah, that is not bad. It is supposed to be done, but only by the indriya is wrong thing. That is what we are telling. And because of all these people, if they all work like this, what will happen? It will not bring the harmony to the society. Harmony and peace. Fruits are not distributed like rain. That is what is happening today in the world. We see आज की तारीख में we see in the world. That is why. और फिर हम कहते हैं कलयुग आ गया. बाबा रे बाबा कलयुग आ गया. हाँ ऐसा ऐसा पापो हम पापना. हाँ ऐसा कलयुग आ गया. कलयुग कलयुग. हाँ कलयुग. कलयुग कलयुग आता नहीं है, हम लाते हैं. कलयुग आता नहीं है, हम लाते हैं. We don't do our prescribed duties and then the things are happening. Sin हो जाता है. That is sin. और उसकी वजह से pain and अज्ञान. Simple calculation है. Anybody who has got a little interest in understanding the mechanism, the psychology of the society and individual will immediately understand. कलयुग आता नहीं है, हम लाते हैं. When I don't do my duty, कलयुग आएगा. When I do my duty in a yajna bhav, satyug aayega. What is Kalyug and Satyug? Is it like a time transition? I know I am putting my foot on somebody's, I am stepping on somebody's foot also here. But that is not Kalyug. Kalyug is when we don't do our prescribed duty. That is Kalyug. That is when the sins happen. And then we say that Kalyug has come. Feeling of gratitude and politeness is lost. आज देखो बड़े बुजुर्गों का कोई मान नहीं है. देयर इज नो रिस्पेक्ट टू द एल्डर्स. एल्डर मीन्स व्हाट? एल्डर डजंट मीन ओनली एज. द पीपल हु हैव वर्कड फॉर मी, द पीपल हु हैव हेल्प्ड मी टू रीच एट द पोजीशन एट विच आई एम, आई डोंट हैव द ग्रेटिट्यूड. नो रिस्पेक्ट, नो ग्रेटिट्यूड फॉर देम. दैट इज कलयुग. Politeness to accept that I got the help from external factors to reach the present situation. मैंने किया. I came to Canada only with $2 in my hand. And today see मेरे पास में 3 बंगलो है. मैंने किया. Everything is because of me. That is seen. That is why we have to come to the temple. भगवान तूने मदद की. Temple is not just to pray. Temple is नम्रता लाएगा जिंदगी में. Go to the God. माता जी के पैर पड़ो और बोलो कि माँ तूने मदद की. यू हेल्प मी. मैं बीमार नहीं हुआ. मेरे से 10 साल छोटे उम्र के लोगों की किडनी फेल हो गई, मर गए, मगर मैं भी जिंदा हूं. कैसे? तूने मदद की. ग्रेटिट्यूड एंड पोलाइटनेस. इफ दैट इज नॉट देयर, इट इज अ सीन. एंड वन और मेनी पीपल आर हर्ट फिजिकली, मेंटली. It may not be physical or direct hurt, it may be indirect hurt. Like people throw the burning cigarette butts in the forest. What happens? Forest fire. So many animals, birds, they lose their lives, they lose their home. So many trees are burned. It is not a physical abuse by putting a cigarette butt on the floor of in the forest. But that creates, so our any action, it may even indirect. The point is, even indirect way of seeing is also there. There is no only direct, not only direct, but indirect. Passing incorrect law by the government. ऐसा law बना दिया, people are becoming unhappy. मेरा काम हो गया, I am already cleared, I am elected, I did my job, whatever I wanted, and I leave. But you make a law which will damage the society. One or many people may be hurt directly or indirectly, and the society becomes unhappy at large. And also sin is creating damage to the culture and long time adverse effect. Environmental damage, ethnic cleansing, atrocity towards specific faith people. All these sins are happening because of the people not doing their prescribed duty. That is what is happening. So we have seen what is we have studied what is a sin, what is a sinful living. And because of that, it is living in vain. Sinful as the righteous way. Because we don't live in a righteous way and methods which are explained, it is sinful. It doesn't bring harmony to the society and fruits are not distributed equally. That is a result of not doing the prescribed duty or sin. That is what is sin. Mouse running in a wheel. That is what is in a wheel. The word here is agayuhu, sinful living, and indriyartha, that means only for the delighting of the senses. These 2 points are combined. Now here some people misexplained it, so I want to put that very point clearly. Scene क्या होता है? Most of the time we hear that, हाँ संसार में पड़ा हुआ है, पापी है, हाँ शादी बनाया पापी है, भगवा डाल के सन्यासी हो गया पुण्यशाली है. या that is a misunderstanding. Here doing a prescribed duty, in prescribed duty it is also written that you get married, you make new generations and you train them to live in a proper way. That is your prescribed duty. So getting married is not sinful. Because when we say indriyarthe only for the sensual happiness, people misunderstand, misexplain that. That is to be understood also very clearly. That living life is not sinful. Living the life is not sinful. Earning money, doing job, going on vacation, getting married and having kids, wearing ornaments, living in a good house, all these are not sin. Sin is only when we are not doing our prescribed duty. That is what is sin. If I am a businessman, I should do a good business. I should make a good profit. But where do I use that money? Indriyarthe, only for the sensual happiness, then it is a sin. So it is very clear here that sin is not doing doing only indriya way. Because some people are explaining, see, it is written here in the Gita very clearly. Aghayur indriya ramo. You are going only for the happiness, sensual happiness. So it is incorrect. No, it is not. Getting married is not sinful. Making a family is not sinful. And then some people say that living the society is only way for the punya kamane ke liye, sansar chhod dena chahiye. That is incorrect. Gita doesn't say that. So when we do the word indriya agayu, that doesn't mean you leave the world. So just a clarification on that. So hence these 3 slokas we understood in a way. Now when we are putting these skills in a selfless way as a duty in the yajna, then it is bringing the rain and no sins happen. That is what it is. So I will chant the 17th sloka, that how does it, how can we reach that, and what is the next step? Some people will stay there and keep doing duty, but after some time, isn't it? When we are growing old, or when we do the same thing again and again, or we have attained some of the status in the life, then we do not like that. After when a person comes new to the Canada, oh, I will make a good house, I will do this, I will do this. After 20 years, 30 years, when the person is established, the person says, मजा नहीं आता है, अभी जिंदगी में मजा नहीं है, बोर हो गए, I have become bored, I am not finding the same fun in doing my duty. I am not finding that. Why and what happened? What is the status? Why do people reach to that status? So that is in the next sloka. So I will chant the 17th sloka here. Yastvatmaratirev syad atmatruptascha manavaha atmaneva cha santushtaha tasya karyam na vidyate. This is very challenging. Those people who are intellectually trying to study Gita, this is a challenging sloka, because it contradicts the earlier slokas which we studied in 2nd chapter and 1st chapter. So let us first understand the Anvay. Yes, yaha tu atmaratihi. Atmaratihi means who rejoice in oneself. Atmaratihi means one who rejoices in oneself, in the self. And atmatruptaha means self-satisfied. Santushtaha means contented. These are the words here. So Those who rejoice in the self and who are illuminated and fully satisfied in the self, for them there is no duty. There is no duty. Tasya karyam na vidyate. There is no duty. जो मनुष्य अपने आप में ही रमण करने वाला और अपने आप में ही तृप्त तथा अपने आप में ही संतुष्ट है, उसके लिए कोई कर्तव्य नहीं है. सो दिस इज द नेक्स्ट स्टेप व्हेन ए पर्सन रीचेस. कोई कर्तव्य नहीं है. सो इट इज कॉन्ट्राडिक्टिंग. गॉड हैज टोल्ड कि कोई भी व्यक्ति काम किए बगैर रह नहीं सकता. द एनीबडी कैन नॉट लिव विदाउट वर्किंग. कर्म करना ही पड़ेगा. यू हैव टू डू द कर्म. So if I have to do the karma, God is telling, tasya karyana vidyate. What does it mean? What does it mean? Does that person doesn't do any duty? Does that person has no work to do? Does that person doesn't do any work? What is the meaning of tasya karyam na vidyate? So here there are three important words, and these three important words are to be seen. First of all, अपने आप में ही रमण करने वाला, one who is satisfied in self. This should not be misunderstood with the egocentric man. It is not that अपने आप में ही संतुष्ट. Narcissus. It is not a narcissus characteristic, because there is a very similar looking another characteristic which is narcissus. मैं मेरे लिए ही करूंगा. आई विल डू वर्क फॉर माई सेल्फ एंड आई एम हैप्पी विथ माई सेल्फ, एंड वॉट एवर इज फॉर माई सेल्फ आई एम हैप्पी. You must have seen in trains, especially in India, you know, when the train arrives, people rush and go into the compartment and sit. मेरी सीट मिल गई. I got my seat. आत्मतृप्त. No, it is not. अपने आप में रमण. It is not that egocentric person. It is a person who has got no expectation or no dependency on external factors. That is Atmatruta. अपने आप में रमण करने वाला, one who is satisfied with self, means he doesn't have any external dependencies to remain happy or unhappy. That is a person. It is not the egocentric person. So this is to be understood very clearly. Egocentric person is also self, but he is only self, and he has got dependency on external factors which make him happy or unhappy. But this person, अपने आप में रमण करने वाला, one who is self-satisfied, is not dependent on the external factors. So that is the number one word. Then second part is Atmarati, Atmatrupta and Atmasantushta. These three words have come in this sloka. Atmarati, Atmatrupta and Atmasantushta. To understand this, we have to see how we work. Who is making us to work? Who is pushing us to work? External factor or internal factor? Rati means rejoice, enjoying, loving. That is Rati. If I am having my rejoice and loving created in me because of an external factor, then the factor will change and I will be happy or unhappy at a given time. But when I am Atmarati, when I am I am with myself only, I am connected, I am enjoying and loving in self, that is Atmarati. And in same way, Atmatrupta, contented in self, whatever is there is enough and full, related to other than what you have. This is what is a Atmatrupta. Whatever is there, he is satisfied. External qualities and external quantities doesn't impact the contentedness of the person. That is Atmatrupta. And Atmasantushta, one who is satisfied in self. His happiness is not related to availability and the quantity of the resources. That is Atmasantushta. So today it is already 9:30 now. We will take this sloka again next week, And what is tasya karyana vidyate? How does this result into no duty? Tasya karyam na vidyate. How it this result into no duty? We will understand from 17th sloka. Till then, I wish everyone a happy weekend and take care of yourself. Work in the yard. Take a lot of sunlight. It is good for health. And meet people, meet friends. It's a time to rejoice. Meeting friends, families. So till then, next Saturday we will meet again at 8:30 to 9:30. Till then, I wish everyone a good weekend and a good upcoming week. वसुदेवसुतं देवं सचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः।